Hey everybody, Michael here from Get Fit Over 40, and Replica Airgun's going to do this video for both channels because it is tech related, and this is a product that I'm going to be using for my videos, for shooting videos, for recording audio primarily. What we're looking at today is the Synco, and this is the G1A2. So it's basically what it is a wireless microphone setup. You can kind of see what you get here. So you have two transmitters and one receiver. There is the non-A2 version. I think it's just the G1A1 maybe. And that one just comes with one transmitter and one receiver. But for $60 more here in Canada, I got this whole setup for $209 instead of $149. For the $60, I get an extra transmitter. These little guys, and they can clip on. I'll show some pictures on the screen as I'm describing this because I don't have, this camera that I'm using isn't for really that close up. So I'll do some close-up photography to show you some of the stuff I'm describing and put that over top of the video as we go. But these little transmitters are really cool. This one isn't on right now because I don't need two of them right now. But if I was interviewing somebody, they could be wearing this. They could be apart from me or together, and we can pick up both of our voices really easily. And what I might also do with it is, for instance, put this down on the other side of the gun range when I'm shooting my guns. Maybe even clip it near the target so that you can hear the impact of the BBs on the target a little bit better during the videos. I might try that and see how that works. This system is able to record both of these outputs as either mono or stereo. So I could record them as separate tracks. So the left track might be the target track or the other person. Right track could be me, right? So there's a lot of options, or I could just record both tracks as a mono track. Now my setup that I'm using right now is I'm recording into my iPad. You can kind of see what's going on here. And so I've got this, I've got it hardwired through USB, so this is picking it up. This is the receiver on this end. It's picking up my voice. I obviously don't need to be this close, but it's working, and we're recording right into it. But my hardware only records in mono. It's a limitation of my USB microphone. I believe it only records in mono. I've tried to get it to work in stereo, and I just haven't been able to do so. So I'm going to try and pick up a different USB input that records in stereo so that I can have a left and a right track and be able to separate that when I'm video editing, and maybe, you know, pull up the volume, bring one volume up, bring one volume down as required. So let's kind of get into, I don't like getting into a lot of specs. I like talking practical, like how am I going to use these devices in real life, and that's what we're going to focus on. But, you know, let's just go over what this kind of is. It's a digital 2.4 gigahertz, one trigger, two wireless microphones. So again, they look the same. They kind of look the same. So your transmitter and your receiver look almost the same, but they are different. They have different sort of inputs and outputs and all of that kind of stuff. And so let's go over some more specs. It's rated up to about 50 meters, 164 feet. That's, you know, on a good day, straight line of sight. You might get some little, you know, transmission sort of problems, cutouts part way down there, especially if your body's in the way of the actual transmitter receiver, if it's in between. But if you're facing the camera and the receiver, transmitter receiver are facing each other, you're going to have less. Has a 180 kilohertz low cut, so that's good for pops and maybe wind noise. If it's a windy day, you might want to use that, but it will take a little bit of the bass out of your voice. I might try that here real quick and just do a little quick demo when I go through it. It has a built-in mic as well. So these transmitters, I'm going to show a picture, but they have a little built-in microphone on the top, so you don't need to use a lapel mic. So if you just really want to just quickly clip it on and go and not have to do a lot of, you know, finicking around or wiring yourself up, you can clip it on, and I will show you the difference in the audio, but it is better with the lapel. It's a little bit louder with less background noise, but, you know, in a pinch, in a quick scenario, you might want to just use this mic. It does sound good, but my experience so far is that you get a little bit more room noise. So you get that sort of like, I guess it's just the noise, background noise that comes into it. And not even the room noise so much, but your noise floor. That's what I'm trying to say. The noise floor, so that hiss is just a little bit louder. And it's compatible with a bunch of different things. So let me just quickly tell you what you get in the box. You get this nice hard shell case. Inside the case, you obviously get the two transmitters and the one receiver. You have a cord. One is for a phone, so if you want to go into like an iPhone or smartphone, and one is for going into a camera because the inputs are a little bit different. They have different ends. You also get this neat USB-C. It's like a 1 to 3, so you plug it into one output on your wall charger, and you have 3 USB-Cs that you can charge those up all together and not have to use 3 different cables. You've got your dead cat. Well, hold on. You've got your 2 lapel mics. So this is the second lapel mic. I'm wearing one. You have a little reset tool in here. And then you have 2 dead cats, and they just clip on the top like this. If I can get that, if I can see what I'm doing, my eyes don't work so good. So they just clip on the top, and that just, if you've got like wind noise and different things, if you're outside, that'll eliminate some of that wind noise for you, okay? So going over really quickly what's on the transmitters, you have a low cut on the one side, the reset button, and the link button. So they come in the box, they're already linked, you don't need to use that, but you might want to use the cutoff. I'm just going to show you really quickly what the cutoff sounds like. I have to do it on this one. Okay, so we're going to do it. So this is what the cutoff on. So the cutoff is going to reduce a little bit of the bottom end, but it will get rid of pops. So plosives. If there's wind noise again, and if you're speaking right into the mic, you might hear that more. I believe the cutoff is off now. I can't remember. Hopefully it is. Otherwise, we're going to lose a little bottom end. On the other side, you have your actual lapel mic that can go into it. You got your, I guess it's a 1/8 inch, quarter inch. Yeah, it's whatever, 1/8 inch lapel mic, your USB-C, and your power button. Okay. So, and then on the top, you've got your actual microphone. And that's pretty much it. On the back, you have this really nice little clip for clipping on your shirt. I'm clipping it right onto my iPad. You can actually put it into the shoe on a camera. So the camera shoe, whether it's a hot shoe or cold shoe, you can plug it in there and plug everything in and keep everything nice and tight. So that's really cool. I think that's it for the transmitter. For the receiver, you've got the USB on the one side and the power button. The power button is also the mono stereo button. Now, unfortunately, the one thing is you really don't know where you are in terms of mono stereo unless your software or your camera shows you the different inputs and the levels. Then you can see if you're on mono or stereo. But on the actual devices themselves, you don't know if you're on mono or stereo. So that's a bit of a down. It'd be nice if there was like a button there that showed you when you were in mono or stereo. You do see when you're connected with the little blue light on the front, little blue light, you do have a reset button again. You have the A and the B, so that's for the transmitter A and the transmitter B for the volume. So I'm going to go through that right now. Right now we're using transmitter A because I'm just connected to one. So, and I believe I'm on the second volume level. I'm going to click it, and now we should be a level up. So it's going to be a little, it might even peak a bit, and I'm going to click it again, and we should even be hotter at this point, even louder. And then I'm going to click it one more time. And now we're at the quietest setting, so you won't hear very much background noise or noise floor noise, but I will be quieter. I like the second setting. This is now the second volume setting. I'm not sure what the dBs are. Maybe I'll put that up on the screen. I don't remember, but they're different decibel or minus decibel level readings. And so you're going to find out which one works for you. It might depend on your mic placement. If it's down further, you can go a little hotter. It depends on your voice, how loud your voice is, how excited you get when you speak. If you're getting a lot of clipping or a lot of sort of distortion in the mic, you're definitely going to want to lower that level or increase it if it's not loud enough. So at this point, we're going to try something else. We're going to take out the lapel mic. Okay, so you should have heard click and everything. And so with the lapel mic off, I'm just using the built-in mic on the transmitter. It sounds pretty good, but you'll notice it's quieter. So I am going to bring it up a little bit here with my volume A. And so it should be a little bit louder. So this is level 3, and I'm thinking that's probably a good level for, at least for my voice with the mic, with the actual transmitter where it is. Now I'm going to put it on the loudest, and so now we're on number 4. But I'm probably going to hear a little bit more noise floor noisy, the little hiss. So if I get quiet here, you'll hear it. Okay, so it's more noticeable definitely when you have the lapel mic off. I'm going to go back to number 2, and I'm going to put in the lapel mic because I just like that. I like using lapel mics. I just think they sound a little bit better. Typically, that's kind of what they're for. So we're now recording, I believe, level 2 with the lapel mic, and it should sound pretty good. So one more little quick test I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on my chair. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Kinda, yeah, you can kind of see it. So I'm just going to walk down to the other end of my office, which is like 30 feet down the way. It's a metal office. So now my body's between the transmitter and the receiver. I'm walking away. My body is in the way. I'm walking all the way down to the end, which is about 30 feet away. This is a metal room with all sorts of LED lights. They're actually LED lights in here, so they do cause a bit of interference sometimes. I might be getting some interference. I have experienced interference with other lapel mics or wireless mics for sure. So I don't know if that's the case, but I did do a little quick test earlier, and I didn't notice a lot of interference. Actually, I didn't notice any, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen this time. Sometimes the mics can actually connect at a slightly different frequency and have interference. So hopefully that isn't the case, because I'm trying to avoid interference, obviously, as much as possible. Otherwise, I might have to go back to a different mic setup that's more that's not wireless based. But hopefully this is going to work, because I really like the setup. Again, it allows me to, not have to carry around either a phone attached to the lapel. I've just got this little guy right here. This guy could be in my pocket easily. I don't have to have it hanging out here if I'm using the lapel mic. It's, it's very discreet. It's a nice system. As long as it sounds good and it's reliable, then I'm for sure going to continue using these guys. They're super easy. You just turn them on. One thing that I've noticed is you turn them on, they pair immediately, like within a second. So you don't have any pairing issues. And that's what a lot of people that have reviewed them said, that their pairing is like immediate. It's like they're kind of like super user friendly, almost impossible to screw up. The only thing that I think could maybe screw them up a little bit is if you have the wrong volume level for your device and your voice and where the mic is placed. So definitely look at the settings going into whatever device you're recording into and see what those levels are. So you don't want them going into this red area. You see how that green thing guy's kind of bouncing around, and you can see the wavelength on the screen here looks nice. It's not too high, it's not too low. Otherwise, you can get too much noise or too much volume or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna do one last little test and wrap this video up. I'm just gonna go outside and do a distance test, okay? So it's not gonna be anything really exciting. I'm probably only gonna go about 75 feet away. I mean, really, honestly, who's going 75, 100 feet away from the microphone? Maybe some people are. I'm never really gonna do that. That's just a little test I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna walk away from the actual camera and the recording device, the transmitter receiver, the receiver in this case. I'm gonna walk away about 75 feet, turn around, and then walk back. So there might be some more cutoffs or cutouts going away, because my body will be between the transmitter and the receiver. But coming back, things should be a little bit better. So let's find out. That's pretty much gonna be it, and then I'm gonna wrap this video up. So I've got everything set up here, mic's on, camera's on. We're gonna walk again about 75 feet that way, and the transmitter and receiver, my body will be between them. So I'm gonna expect maybe some slight cutouts, especially as we get closer or further away. So let's try this now. And so I'll just keep talking the whole time. It is a bit windy, there might be some wind noise. I'm just using the little foamy that's on the lapel mic. That might cut down a little bit of wind noise, but I can actually feel the wind on me at this point. Still walking. I'm just going to go to the end here, which is the end of the gravel. I don't want to go into the mud. So this is, I'm going to say, a good 65 to 70 feet, maybe 75 feet tops. I don't think I will ever experience being any further away than this. Hopefully you can hear me at this point. Hopefully there's no cutouts. If there is, then you didn't hear anything I said. So we're going to just keep going. So this is about 50 feet, I'm going to say, roughly, yeah, 50 feet. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm going to say this is about 30 feet, okay? 30 feet away. Keep going, keep going. This is about 20 feet away, maybe a little bit more, and we're now about 10 feet away. So that should give you a pretty good idea of the range test for this microphone, what it sounds like, especially with wind noise. I'm going to expect a little bit of wind noise for sure, but hopefully not too much. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video, getfitover40.com video. Make sure to check out both of those websites at getfitover40.com and replicairguns.com. Also check out my, obviously, YouTube channels, Facebook channels, Twitter channels, and Instagram channels. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.